Enthrallment Syndrome, written by Andrew Adams and narrated by Chadwick Polson. Tell me, child, what do you fear? They stand outside the boy's home amidst the oppressive atmosphere of witching hour darkness. Lucas already feels uncomfortable in her presence, but tonight there is an intangible, nebulous quality to the air that he finds nothing short of stifling. I want to go inside. I want to go back to bed. It feels weird out here. And you will get to soon enough. But before that happens, we are going to have a little bit of fun. You like fun, don't you? Well, yeah, I guess so. What 12-year-old boy doesn't? Of course you do. We will play my game for just a few moments, then you can go right back to sleep, all right? Sound like a deal? She places her hand on his cheek, fingers long and angular like spider legs. Lucas shudders under the cold, clammy touch of her palm. Yeah, I can do that. Can we hurry up, though? I'm tired, and I don't know why you made me come out here with you. Oh, Lucas, you wanted to, don't you remember? All I did was ask, but it was you who woke up and followed me. You remember, right? Lucas nods his head. Yes, you're right. It's very hard to say no to you. That is correct. Nobody tells me no, Lucas. Now please, answer my question. What are you afraid of? She leans in, smile curling at both sides of her mouth. Lucas stares at her deeply, terrified of this woman, yet unwilling to admit to it. I ain't afraid of anything. That's quite brave of you. But we're all afraid of something. I will find out regardless, Lucas. You might as well tell me. My older brother taught me not to be afraid of anything. He isn't afraid, so neither am I. Lucas stands tough with his chest pushed out. Ah, your brother. Wyatt, is that correct? How did you know that? It's a particularly useful gift of mine. Here, watch this. She places both hands on his cheeks, once again inducing extreme discomfort under her skin. The sensation of tingling in his face reaches the point of unbearable, just as she withdraws. Your poor Wyatt has a crippling fear of drowning which began after he fell into a lake as a child. Did you know that? You certainly did, which is how I uncovered it. Don't you see now? All I need is your cooperation, or I will force you to drown your brother in the backyard pool you love so much. Is that too much to ask? Lucas blinks back tears as he hides his hands in his pockets so she won't see them trembling, and shakes his head. Okay, miss. What do you need me to do? Lucas, I told you to call me Agatha. We can't have much fun together if you don't feel comfortable with me. You do, don't you? He stares into Agatha's bottomless gray-blue eyes as thoughts of self-doubt saturate his racing brain. Yes, I do feel comfortable. Good. Very good. Now, what I want you to do is follow me next door to that house over there. That house? Kenny's house? Yes, Kenny's house. It's a bit dark over there, don't you think? We should go light it up a bit, you know, to see better. But why would we need to see outside the house? Everyone is probably asleep. It is the middle of the night. Lucas's eyes dash back and forth nervously between Agatha and Kenny's house. How fair is that they don't get to have any fun with us? One must never be so selfish, Lucas. If we don't create a bit of light, how will you play in such darkness? True to Agatha's word, this particular summer night is lacking a moon, and the sweltering heat is the perfect complement to its black backdrop. I doubt Kenny would want to play with me. He's almost out of high school now and doesn't really come outside anymore. Besides, won't his parents be mad? And how do we get enough light for the whole house? I doubt they will even notice. She places her hand on Lucas's cheek once more to extract information. Follow me. Luckily, we have prepared everything for you beforehand. Who else? You said we prepared everything. Who helped you? Kenny, of course. I told you he would want to play too. All he left for you is the final step. but he was very helpful otherwise, the sweet child. Agatha leads Lucas to the side of the house where red gasoline cans sit next to a box of matches, concealed between two fern trees. I don't understand. What am I supposed to do with this? Poor Kenny has a debilitating fear of fire, as you already know. He couldn't finish the job, so I sent him off to bed and told him we would wake him when we were ready. I can't hurt Kenny. I'm so confused. Why can't you just do it and leave me alone? I'm going to go get my brother. Keep your voice down. Agatha's voice slices through to Lucas's core as he fights off tears again. You know why I can't do it. I'm not like you, Lucas. My hands don't work the same way as yours do. I just don't think I can do this without my brother's help. Of course you can. Do you know what your parents fear most? Losing you and Wyatt. Would you rather I make that happen? Lucas shakes his head furiously. Great. Spread this gasoline around the outside of the house and light it. Kenny already knows it's going to happen. He helped me before, remember? Lucas empties the gas can and strikes multiple matches together, throwing them against the house. What else did Kenny help you do? He asks as the wood panels ignite. Essentially what you are doing now, only inside the house. He also provided a bit of fuel to help us out. You see there, through the window? Kenny pulled the gas hose from the wall and left it open so we can have even more light. Oh, Lucas contemplates the series of actions leading to this. Is it going to hurt? Kenny is my friend. Of course not, sweet boy. Agatha lies. This is all but a game, and playing games isn't harmful. Yes, we're having fun. That's right. Enjoy yourself. Agatha stands behind Lucas, resting her hands on his shoulders as they watch the flames crawl steadily upward toward the second floor and dance across the wood panels. Lucas's face remains confused while Agatha is reeling in ecstasy at every pain and negative thought that passes through his head, living vicariously through these emotions she could not otherwise experience herself. A loud explosion from the gas leak tears through the bottom floor, blowing out the windows and effectively igniting the inside of the house. The spectacle is brilliant from their vantage point. You were right. What's that, my dear? The light. I can see clear as day out here. Lucas gazes in wide-eyed trance, chaotic orange flames mirrored in his glassed-over eyes. The first screams tear through broken windows and wash over the two voyeurs outside. Agatha squeezes his shoulders as a new wave of euphoric fear enters her palms. I hear all four of their screams. The flames have caressed them all now. You have performed excellently, Lucas. She lowers her head so her eyes are looking upward at the house, serpentine smile infectiously spreading ear to ear. Every house in the cul-de-sac is illuminated by the raging inferno. Only one voice pierces through the crackling of wood and sizzling flame, the other three having fallen prey to their young neighbor's impulses. A shadow bounds toward one of the upstairs windows in a jolting visual, fire inside casting a vibrant projection across the room. Lucas watches in what seems like slow motion as the large impending shadow dives through the double-paned bedroom window in the form of Kenny's father. Intonation of shattering glass hits his ears first before the optic is able to gain a foothold in his brain. The sound consumes him, echoing from forward to back in his mind, rendering him entirely blind to the flaming figure floating in a cloud of broken glass shards. You hear it, don't you? Yes. Lucas feels the words slip out of his mouth while he remains fixated on the mesmeric gaze of rampant fire grinding to a halt before him. It sounds like music. Agatha pats his head and lightly tousles the hair in normal speed. Like music, yes, but you must search with your mind. Seek to comprehend the larger picture. Bigger picture? Yes. Where is that music from? What is making the sound? Who and how? She wraps her arm around to grab Lucas's forehead and move his head around. Their screams, even though they're gone, I can still feel them inside. Only it's not the actual sound of the screams, It's their pain that I feel." His eyes dart around frantically as Agatha grasps his forehead tighter. "Their pain, is it? What does it feel like? Tell me more, child." "I can feel the heat coming off the fire. They were asleep when the flames burst through and the pain woke them up. Fear." "You feel fear?" Lucas remains suspended in a state between hypnosis and cognizance, absorbing the details of the family's tribulation. "Yes, I feel their fear. I can see it, feel it, hear it. My entire body is pulsing from this sensation." "This feeling of dread, it feels good to you? Inside your mind, their anxiety is pleasurable?" Lucas attempts to nod, but Agatha's hand prevents him from moving. Yes, it must surely feel good. You are feeling adrenaline, Lucas, a rush of power rooted in fear. Do you understand now? You have a special gift to be able to feed off the despair of others." Lapsing into a brief lucid interval, he suddenly realizes Kenny's dad has only fallen maybe a couple inches, still surrounded by broken glass. The flames are also mostly undisturbed. Lucas forces his head free to turn and face Agatha. "What is this place? Why has time stopped?" "Time never outright stops, my dear. It is merely moving incredibly slowly around your metaphysical being. This is transcendence. Time is relative, and once you have attained this level of consciousness, you will be able to slow down your perception to keep you here much longer. Allow me to show you the difference." Agatha grabs Lucas abruptly, spinning him back around and holding the sides of his head this time. Lucas feels a jolt of energy connect between her hands, while their surroundings return to normal speed. Kenny's dad plummets into the grass like a renegade comet, glass shards showering his flaming body in high-pitched harmony. The blaze engulfing the house accelerates at a highly aggressive rate for no longer than a minute, then returns to a glacial crawl. "We don't have much time now," she warns. "Do you want to do it again? The thrill?" "Yes, I do." Lucas stares at her, deep in thought. "But I feel bad for hurting Kenny's family. I don't want to hurt anyone to make myself feel good." "Oh, sweet thing. Death is the grand finale of life. That didn't hurt Kenny. It was a celebration, remember? He knew what was going to happen, and he embraced the role bestowed upon him. As should you." "I guess so. It was exciting watching the house burn." "Instant gratification is always going to be preferred for you moving forward. The practice round has ended. Now here, take this and bury it deep within each member of your own family." Agatha hands over a large kitchen knife, spins him around to face his house, and nudges. Lucas holds the knife in his right hand and rests the blade on his open left palm, staring into the reflection of his own eyes on the mirror-finished steel. "My family? I thought you said they would be safe if I helped you with the fire." "I know what I said. No need to remind me, boy. There can be only one of you, Lucas. Your brother is a threat to your existence, as are your parents. Each of you four has the gift, although yours is far and away the greatest and most potent. But beware, for Wyatt may be more easily swayed than yourself." "I don't understand. I'm sorry." "What is there to understand? There must always be those of us who incite fear to bring balance. The human condition demands it. They do not accomplish anything properly without constant threat of terror. Therefore, we will cease to exist. Anxiety is the only effective motivator, and we feed on the fear that results from it. You have been touched by darkness, Lucas. Do you understand now?" Agatha grabs Lucas's cheeks and forces him to stare at Kenny's house once more, feeling his tension and resistance melt away. "Oh, how delightfully calm you are. You do not recoil from death. You embrace it." She moves her hands into a more comforting position on the forehead and across his chest, lowering her face to his ear so she may whisper. "Do you wish for me to leave?" "No," he replies back in a tranced state. Agatha terrifies him, Yet she opens a doorway into Lucas's morbid curiosity for matters of the macabre, of which he feels entirely indefensible. Her right hand remains firmly pressed against bare skin, transmitting feelings of comfort and subjugation into Lucas's thought patterns. Good. That's what I hoped you would say. She soothes, running her fingers through his hair. If you don't perform your duty, I may not be able to stay here with you. There is no turning back from tonight. Don't you see? They will all deem you a murderer, including your brother, unless you surreptitiously slide into the shadows with me. Now, I must insist. Take this knife and go butcher your family. For me. Lucas hesitates. It won't hurt them, just like Kenny's family? Not even a little bit, my child. They will feel warmth and peace, and thank you for allowing them to travel on. He taps the blade with his fingernail several times contemplatively. What is the problem? I was just thinking about my mother and how she always told me I was horrible at doing what I was told. Lucas plunges the knife into the left side of Agatha's chest. She appears shocked, but otherwise unfazed. I know. She told me, too. Agatha responds with a devilish smirk. Her face tightens, gray eyes turn green, and white hair turns brown. She is now a young woman, apparently turned mortal as she falls to the ground, clutching the knife in her chest. Mom! Lucas drops to his knees, desperately trying to remove the knife as she gasps for air. No, don't touch it. She coughs, blood trail running down her chin and cheek. I'm sorry, Mother. I don't know what happened. There was a scary old lady and... Shh. Say no more, Lucas. It's all right now. Really. It's okay. It's okay. She continues to repeat in a mantra as Lucas sobs by her side. I love you, my sweet child. Never forget that. He leans back, feeling a sharp pain of his own, and looks down to find a stab wound forming in the right side of his chest, mirroring that of his mother's. The blood leaves a red stain on his shirt, but runs down no further. Helen! Helen! Lucas's father and brother come running out the front door, undoubtedly awoken by the gas explosion inside Kenny's house. How will you explain this to your father and Wyatt? There is still time to get away. You know what to do. I don't know. I'm scared. Why can't this all just be a bad dream? The dead don't dream, baby. The two men run full speed toward their wife and mother lying motionless on the floor. Lucas remains kneeling, holding her hand and looking up at the unmoving flames that capture his attention. Her face briefly reverts to Agatha's as she flashes him a wink, then changes back to Helen. Lucas grabs the knife tightly in his right hand and rises to his feet.